You know, I watched the debate last night, and when President Obama said that he stood in the Rose Garden the day after the attack on our embassy in Benghazi and said that it was a terrorist attack is a complete lie. I don't know how the President of the United States could stand up there and tell the American people a bold-faced lie and then try to convince himself, Mitt Romney, the moderator, and the people in the audience that he did call it a terrorist attack, and then the moderator to jump in and say that he did call it a terrorist attack. It makes me sick to my stomach. I went and pulled up his press release or statement that he made to the public in the Rose Garden, and he speaks first about celebrating with the families on the anniversary of 9/11 and remembering the people that lost their lives, and it was a tragic terrorist or tragic attack on this country. And then 2 paragraphs later, he says, "No acts of terror will ever shake the resolve of this great nation after that character, alter that character, or eclipse the light of the values that we stand for." And then he talks about mourning the poor Americans that were killed over there, our ambassador being murdered. But the audacity to stand up on national television and a presidential debate and say that he called it a terrorist act the following day, and then knowing that no one in this country is that stupid to believe that a UN ambassador has the authority to just go out on television and say that all of this was due to some anti-Muslim video that was posted on YouTube that would incite this kind of violence and make people so enraged that they would attack an embassy and kill the people there over a video. All those cartoons that were created years ago that were on Clinton's administration and Bush Jr.'s administration, things like this came up all the time. And not once did you ever hear about people being murdered over it. Yes, there was a big uproar. People were upset. They wanted retribution. They wanted the people to pay. But here's the thing. In this country, we have a little thing called freedom of speech, freedom of expression. We have the right to say what we want, irregardless of what who it may offend or whether they deem it appropriate. We have the right to say it. And the president, no judge, has the right or the ability to take away your right as an American to say what you want, whether it be on paper, whether it be in a video, whether it be out in public. As long as you do not directly harm somebody, they're words. They're your beliefs. And I don't know this gentleman who made the video. I don't know what his principles are. I don't know what he stands for. But the fact that he made a video about Muslims, whether it be in a negative light, derogatory, it doesn't matter. They are using this guy as a scapegoat. I saw last night that the driver of Osama bin Laden was set free on the basis that it is not illegal or against the law for him to transport weapons to known terrorists. But yet, this guy who made the video is arrested and in prison because he made a video, and they're claiming, basically saying it's an act of terror. They're using this Homeland Security crap to keep this guy in prison because they want a scapegoat. It's like JFK all over again. The only difference is we had an ambassador murdered, and they're pawning this whole thing off on a guy who made a video. It's a YouTube video. It's not like a big documentary. Okay, just like what I'm making now, I mean, how many people are actually going to see it? How many people are going to look at it? How many people are going to side with me? The American people are going to make up their mind based on what they hear, what they see, what they want to have happen. But it's utterly reprehensible for a president to do what he did. I served my country for 17 years. I fought in Iraq. I've been to Bosnia. I've never been to Afghanistan, but I fought a war for this country. I'm screwed up from it. I was medically retired because of it. And I still love this country just as much as the next person. But what I see happening is disgusting. And I watched the movie made by Dinesh D'Souza, Obama 2016, Like Him, Love Him or Hate Him, Now You Know Him. And I found that movie absolutely 100% outstanding. And I don't know nothing about the guy other than what was shown in the movie. But everything that he brought up is what is happening now. And if people can't see that, they're either blind, stupid, or just choose to ignore it. Obama is destroying this country for the sake of living up to his father's dream of basically putting everybody in poverty and sharing an equal playing field for everybody. All this comes down to the colonialism that happened in his country, Kenya, that his father's from, that happened in India, that happened in many, many different countries. He is doing nothing more than trying to level the playing field for everybody. Why do you think he doesn't allow oil to be drilled for within the states or offshore? He's cut that. I mean, he lied about that last night, saying that it's increased, when in fact it's decreased by, I think they said 42 or 46% in the past 3 years. But yet he's given billions of dollars to other nations, other countries, to drill for oil off their shores. Why? He's taken the wealth that we as Americans have, passing it on to these other countries to make up for the colonialism that happened. And it's disgusting. And people are letting him do this. And you know what? I firmly believe that the only reason he is seeking this second term is because he wasn't able to destroy America in the first 4 years, because people actually stood up against him. And if we allow this guy to get back into the Oval Office for another 4 years, this will be an America that more closely resembles the communist Soviet Union, but right before they collapsed. People will be standing in line to get bread. Obama wants everybody so dependent upon the government that we might as well just fork over everything we ever earn and just let them pay our bills for us. That's what his philosophy is. And it is sickening. It is disgusting. And all these leftist, liberal crackpots that are sitting there saying how great he is. He's the Messiah. He's the forthcoming. He's greater. He's better than when they sliced bread. It's sickening. It's disgusting. This guy shouldn't be allowed to run a McDonald's. He shouldn't be allowed to step in a Dairy Queen as a manager. This guy needs to be living at home and allow him to just sulk on his own beliefs and destroy his own future. All right? I don't share his beliefs. I don't believe what he believes, but he is trying to pass those beliefs on to you, me, and everybody else, and he's doing it in a way that is so subtle, just like the way he got elected. The guy, no one knew anything about this guy. You tell me what other person in history spent 2 years as a congressman or a senator or just 2 years in public office and then suddenly got elected to the White House. I would rather have Jimmy Carter back in the White House than this guy. At least then you knew what you were getting. This guy, you don't know. Obama is the worst president we've ever had. He sucks. He should have never been elected. This guy shouldn't be allowed to even have his own speeches. All right? If it wasn't for a teleprompter, he wouldn't know what to do. Shooting it on the hip last night and the other debate, he stumbled so much, I thought he had Tourette's. It was disgusting. And then I heard that his campaign people were saying that he should be allowed to have a teleprompter at the debates. Why? The whole point of this is for you to speak your mind and what your view is and what you're going to do. You're trying to convince the American people why we should give you another term. So what, we should let you pre-write it and then read it off a screen? No, I want you to tell me on the fly what you're going to do, how you're going to fix things. And you know what? You claim Romney hasn't given any specifics? Well, you know what? You haven't either, Mr. President. You have given no specifics other than to reiterate what you've done over the past almost 4 years, which has destroyed this country, driven the economy into the toilet, drove people's home values down 60%, 40%. You bailed out GM and Chrysler for what? They still owe money, and you won't relinquish what you still have of theirs because it's making you money. But yet you want to claim you're out for us. How are you out for us when you're making money on something that you were supposedly supposed to bail out so that people wouldn't lose their jobs, and now you won't give it back to those companies because it's making you money? Mr. President, I got news for you. Be a man, stand up, and at least tell the American people what you're really trying to do. I would have more respect for you if you would just tell me honestly that you were trying to turn this country upside down and shake every penny out of every American that you can get and ship it around the world and distribute it equally to everybody. I would have more respect for you. But you, sir, your Harvard education means nothing to me. You are an idiot. You shouldn't be allowed to even manage a McDonald's. You have no credentials, no skills. You can talk great. You're a good talker when you have a teleprompter. But aside from that, you're a liar. You're destroying this country that I served for. You didn't serve. I served for 17 years. Okay? I shed sweat and blood and tears for this country. You didn't do nothing. You stand up and preach about how you know what it's like. You don't know. You have no idea what it's like to be in the middle class. You know what? You may have had that as a kid, but you've been gold spoon fed for the rest of your life from that point forward. You've been handed stuff because people took you under their wing and turned you into a socialist, communist, Marxist son of a bitch. That's what you are. You're destroying this country based on something your father believed, and you took it upon yourself, just like your book said, dreams of my father. You were taking what your father wanted to do, and you were pushing that forward as an agenda because you feel that that is what you owe him to earn some kind of love or respect. You know what? I've never met my biological father. I could care less. I don't know the man. I know his name. That's it. Never met him. Don't care to know him. What he did to me and my mom. And I was only told this when I was older. No desire to meet the man. I have no desire to live up to any nations that he may have. I could care less with me, cares for me. The guy's never made any. Your father met you once. You spent a couple hours, days with him, and you hold him in regard. You are stupid. You are the most idiotic, stupid, Harvard educated. And you back that diploma you got because you didn't earn it. You have no idea what it takes to be an American. You have no idea what it takes to country. You have no plan to fix this country. And if you get reelected, I'll know that it was a fix. Because all this crap that the pollsters put out, that you're ahead, that tied, is a bunch of crap. Romney crushed you in those two debates. Facial expressions alone told me, especially when he got you on in Libya, you knew he got you when he turned that you said a terrorist attack on the day after it happened. You knew you were trying to find a way out. And then the moderator threw you a bone and then later said that even she was wrong, but then still tried to cover it up. Why? Because she's someone who basically blows you every step of the way and gives you what you need. It's reporting on anything. As far as I'm concerned, might as well all jump in a paper bag, shake it up, and dump it out. They don't report either way. And you know what? Republican, conservative.
And there are things that I despise what my own parties do. What you're doing is dismantling this country. At least some of the issue amount. You are trying to destroy this country to the point we always have anything, and that our wealth is spread around to another nation, other people, to make up for some irresponsible that youth other nations had many decades ago because of other country forces, or taking stuff that belonged to them, or ruling another. You know what? Britain did that to us, and we overthrew them. Other countries did it to other countries in the present day. Nations. That is not up to us. If those nations, that is their prerogative. Alright? We have no business. And this crap with Iran, just take our nuclear bombs and deliver it to Ahmadinejad. Come blow us up. Blow up Israel. You've done nothing to stop that, and then you turned your back on Israel. You say you want Israel. Israel has been our biggest ally for decades. You want to think it? You want to throw it in the toilet? You want to blow them off? For what? What have they ever done to us? They have done nothing but help us. They've done nothing but back up. And you want this. I'll tell you why. Because that is what your mentor, a professor that you had at Harvard, the Reverend Wright, that you so eloquently distanced yourself from during the campaign, 20 years in negation, and at no point in that 20 years you think, my God, I need to find a dish. No, you stayed there because that is what you believe. You know you believe. And Mr. President, I challenge you. Richmond. I live in South Carroll, New York. Give my phone number. I challenge you to tell the American people the truth. I demand. Stand up, man up, knuckle up, and grab your cojones and tell what is really going on. Because if you don't, running this country, you're a complete, utter coward, you're a failure, and you should just drown. You should give up. Because there's no way you're going to get reelected. You've shown to the American people are, and who that person is a communist. Turn us all into a communist nation. You want to make the United States of Islam. Succeeded. But you know what? There are people like me that are going to go to and we are your sorry, crappy butt out of office, tired of you. Know, by the way, that the reason why gas prices were so low was because the economy was on verge of collapse is crap. Holds true. If it was to hold true, Mr. President, then why are gas prices so high? Still crap. Hasn't improved any. Your own people have admitted that. Gas prices should be relatively close to where they were when you took off ago. But you know what? You lied about that. You see a pattern, President? You are a liar. You don't know the facts. You only know writes it on paper. How to shoot from the hip? You're as dumb as a box of rocks. God bless America. God bless Mitt Romney. God bless the fact that your butt is going to get free Oval in January of next year. And like I said, my name is James Richmond. I live in New York. Look my phone number up. Find me. Call and tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me, come on the TV and tell the people what is truly going on, what you're doing. Be a man. You know what? I've taken responsibility necessarily, but I've owned up to them, and that's my mistake. Be a man. Own up it. Own up to it. What's really going on? And by the way, Mr. President, when you say I don't believe you. Not one bit. Nor do I believe you support our veterans in any shape, form, or fashion because you view them equal to getting what you want. Because I can tell you one thing, if you take the course that you want to take it, at some point, your own military, the chief of, that same military is going to stand up and they're in office. Yeah, the same thing that happened in all these other nations here. So just know that, Mr. President, that any threat by any shape or fashion, I'm simply stating what I believe. You take this road to destruction. The military that you claim to be in charge of, will remove you from office. And they will make you stand accountable. It may take us decades to repair the damage that you've tried to do, all for some ill-conceived need to be loved other than his really care about when he was alive, because if he did, he would have been with you. So, take all that into account, Mr. President. If you or cronies, I hope you do. I hope somebody calls me or shows up to my door and asks me what I mean when I say I've said here is a threat. It's all been substantiated, it's fact-checked, and no threats have been made. I'm not making a threat of any shape, form, or fashion, telling you what will happen in the future. So good night, and I hope y'all enjoy.